Welcome back to Dirtbag Cinema. I'm Stephen King, and today is a very, very special day. When we first started this channel, we made no bones about it. Physical media was one of our, top priorities. One of the things we're most excited about to start showcasing and talking about with you guys, and really starting hopefully a conversation about what you like, what we like, and kind of the gems that are out there within the Dirtbag Cinema community. So when I rolled up to my house today, after being out, and pulled into my driveway and saw a box sitting on my front porch with this trademark film strip tape, I immediately grabbed the box, ran down to my office, and immediately had to start recording my first unboxing video. Vinegar Syndrome. That's the folks that I've got this first box from. They're one of my favorite labels. They dive into the obscure, the exploitation, the cult classics. They find diamonds in the rough. They find rocks in the rough. They're not all home runs by any means, but tell you what, they save a ton of films from obscurity and just kind of going away forever. And so for that, you have to love them. It's a beautiful thing. And they happen to really do a good job of finding these really, really classic horror films, a lot of regional horror films. You know me, if you listen to the cast, I'm kind of a horror hound, and regional horror is one of my favorite jams. I love seeing kind of like those different flavors, those different tastes from around the country, and or around the world, really. But when I saw Vinegar Syndrome announce the 2 titles that are in this box, I couldn't wait. We are right around the corner from their, what they call their halfway to Black Friday sale. And that's where they put a ton of titles on half off and bring out some special release or some surprise releases, and they end up costing people like me a ton of money, but we have a lot of fun with it. It's an exciting time of year. Everyone geeks out and has a great time. But like I said, these 2 titles, I just couldn't wait. I couldn't hold off in April and wait till May. I just had to pre-order them. And if you are with me as a horror hound, you will know why, and I think you'll really dig this. So, first step within an unboxing video, pretty straightforward. You have to cut the tape and open the box. Letter openers, pocket knives, tools of the trade, they all work just fine, but as self-proclaimed horror hounds, we do it the way God intended, with full-on kitchen knife. So, without further ado, let's cut this beautiful film tape and see what we got. It's just a wonderful moment here. See, I mean, and they really make no bones about it. You get bubble wrap, you get the whole 9. This thing comes, oh boy, beautifully wrapped. Okay, so first up is, I'll start with the single title. So this first one just intrigued the hell out of me because, like I said, regional horror is really my jam. There's a couple other titles that I'm definitely going to have to grab from April. But first up is The Cellar. Now, I don't know if you can see that very well. The Cellar. I mean, that are straight up, first and foremost, that is bananas. It's just, I love the artwork that they do on their slipcovers. That's really one of the trademarks of Vinegar Syndrome, are those slipcovers, just high quality, off the charts. If you're a geek like me, you gotta love good art, and that is just awesome stuff. So real quick rundown on the back of the box here. We've got the Cashin family is just relocated from the city to a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Texas. Upon arrival from their new home, Willie, their young son, explores the area, befriending a Native American shaman who warns him of powerful forces and an apparent curse on their land. Meanwhile, at home, Willie senses that there's something unusual about the cellar of their home, specifically that something strange might be living down there. And unfortunately for the Cashins, it's very hungry. So straight out of the gate, I mean, you have that southwestern, regional horror just really leaning into it, and Monsters in the Cellar, straight up my jam. Tons of special features. I mean, you've got, it looks like you got group commentaries on here, introductions by the director. You got From Chicken Shit to Chicken Salad, Unearthing the Lost Cellar, a brand new extended making of documentary featuring interviews from the cast and crew. And these are the kinds of things, we talk about special features. When you want to really hear about the struggles of independent filmmaking and the trials and just the tribulations that go into making something, it's really what kind of make these releases just the titans that they are. When they do that extra legwork, hunt down these folks and man, put together great releases. So first and foremost, I'm excited, and I will go back and review these later on either on the channel, or I might even talk about them on the cast if they kind of fit the bill for any given week. This first one, The Cellar. Like I said, I could not hold on to my money with this one because who doesn't like cellar monsters, right? And second up, guys, so regional horror again, but this one, I don't know. Arrow Video is another group that I'm a big fan of, and they have done a lot of box sets. The American Horror Project is one of my favorite box sets to date, and it's a very cool deep dive, just sort of grabbing films from around the United States and highlighting these gems, these deep dive gems, and really giving them the royal treatment and letting you kind of see kind of what goes into those as well, and with tons of insight and things like that. And it's really kind of cool to see how certain areas of the country view horror differently than others. You know, certain urban legends and things like that. Where you have Texas and then other films from like Louisiana and things, you know, that they got a new Wisconsin set coming out. So box sets are awesome, but Vinegar Syndrome has now dipped their toe into this pool, and let's take a look here. I'm going to make sure you see this. Homegrown Horrors, Volume 1. Beautiful name. Absolutely adore this. You've got 3 films in here. You've got Fatal Exam, sorry if that's a little bit awkward, Beyond Dream's Door, and Winter Beast. All 3, and just the attention to detail on this, guys. If you want to talk about preserving physical media, this is the way to do it. So all 3 here, I'll just work down the list. Final Exam. Got a group of college students have been given a very unusual assignment: spend the night inside of a supposedly haunted house as part of their studies into the supernatural and occult. Although the ragtag team of collegiates would rather party and get stoned than look for ghosts, it's not long before the unexplained events begin to occur. Initially suspecting that some of their classmates might be playing a practical joke, of course, their fears are proven very real when someone or something dressed in robes and carrying a scythe starts bumping them off one by one. This one comes straight out of St. Louis, Missouri. So, you know, coming from, you know, my home state, and a lot of the folks that are listening to this cast right now, I know you guys are from the Kansas City area, and that's right across the state. And when you think about this movie probably never would have seen the light of day without this effort to put together this incredible box set, which definitely, I mean, it rivals the quality of some of these massive blockbuster titles, the way they've put this together. I mean, you get all sorts of stuff that just kind of, I mean, you got group commentaries from directors, actors, composers, all sorts of stuff. And you're going to get that on all these. I'm not going to read every single special feature, but you get the gist. I mean, just awesome explorations of what the movies took and what the movies mean, and just insights from directors who, man, just labors of love, like I'm saying. Beyond Dream's Door. Yeah, there we go. Great artwork. Yeah, that's awesome. Lately, Ben hasn't been sleeping well. His dreams are filled with violent and terrifying visions of monsters and death. Seeking out answers, he begins to pursue the subtext and hidden meanings of his strange and terrifying nightmares with the help of his professor and several friends. As the dreams grow increasingly lifelike, Ben fears that he's losing his grip on sanity, especially as those around him start turning up dead, horribly mutilated, just like he's seen in his sleep. Another extremely low-budget film. This one, it's just, I'm super excited. I mean, I love these kinds of like supernatural horror, and I'm excited to see what kind of angle these guys take. Straight out of Ohio on this one, guys. Small town Ohio. And finally, the one that I'm personally most excited for, Winter Beast. Let me see if I can make sure that does not shine too much with that plastic on there. Oh, my goodness. Weird things are happening in and around the Wild Goose Lodge. Great name. Snowy Inn, located in rural Massachusetts. People are being found dead and mutilated, while others are vanishing without a trace. Realizing that the violence might have something to do with Native American black magic and the ancient secrets of the area's historic totem poles, a trio of cops decide to investigate the goings-on and are faced with an array of monsters, ghouls, and even a sampling of murderous locals. This thing sounds like it has it all, and I am so excited to get a chance to see what some of this is all about. This thing was, it was shot off and on for nearly half a decade, with a mix of Super 8 and 16 millimeter. I mean, these are just, I said, they are, a lot of these probably were essentially unseen outside of their regions up until now. So, I mean, I will definitely geek out way more about these once I watch them. All three of these sound great, and the most exciting thing potentially about this is that it is volume, now that's backwards, Volume 1. There's more to come, and they never let down. They are always delivering with the quality, and the transfers are great. This is the best these movies will ever look, hands down. And like I said, I could not wait. I could not hold off until May to get my hands on a box set of regional horror from all, from these first three onward. We're gonna get a good glimpse across the states, and maybe even outside of the states. We'll see. I mean, regional horror exists all over the world, and it's super exciting to see a company like Vinegar Syndrome really going after the deep dives and seeing what's out there. So that's the first unboxing. I want to keep them brief. I don't want to keep you guys for half an hour just looking at Blu-rays before I've even watched them. I really just want to showcase the artwork. I'm going to give you one more look just because, why not? You got the seller with those eyes that just outstanding. And then you've got Homegrown Horrors. And on the back, you've got that beautiful artwork as well. And if I haven't made myself clear enough already, I'm a total nerd for this stuff. So I hope that there's a large group of you guys, to even a small group. I mean, I hope there's just some of you folks that appreciate this too, and really are excited to see kind of where this goes and some of these discoveries that they're going to dig up and give the royal treatment. So I'm just going to wrap it there. This is our first one. We'll maybe tweak these as we go along, maybe kind of find some ways to highlight certain things, but this was on the fly, on the cuff. I had to show you guys what this was. One, because I wanted to look at it and I didn't want to wait, and two, because I wanted you guys to see really what one of the coolest things that's happening right now in well, I'll just say, cinema and physical media in general, but really for the horror community, because we're getting so many of these regional just gems, being discovered. And even if they're not your jam, the fact that they're being discovered, you'll find one that is, and they'll just, there's so many out there that we haven't seen, and that's just the hope, like they're just going to keep coming. So that is all I've got for this episode. Rest assured, there'll be more on the way. May is going to be big. We'll probably have to sit down and pack a lunch, because once that May, probably about June, when that rolls in from that halfway to Black Friday sale, we're going to have a lot to talk about. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited to keep breaking open Blu-rays. If you guys dig it, please comment. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't, because there's more on the way for sure. And until the next time, guys, we'll see you at the cinema, dirtbags.